Right guys, welcome back to the channel and to this Tyranid army overview. This is Hive Fleet Orca. This is the entire force that I've got, barring a few unpainted models. I've got a few extra Homigans and Gene Stealers that I haven't painted up yet due to wanting to wait till the new Codex is out, and a couple of Ripper Swarms as well. So, a little bit about the force. Like I said, it's Hive Fleet Orca. They are a splinter fleet of Hive Fleet Leviathan. Leviathan is a sea creature, and I wanted a very themed army, so that's why I've gone for these. Obviously Hive Fleet Orca, you get Orca whales, which although they are black and white, my army is not. It was very fitting for a sea themed force, I felt. And if you've seen the Tyranids on the channel before, you'll know that all of the creatures have shells grafted onto them all over the place. So, a little bit about Hive Fleet Orca. Basically, as I said, it's a splinter fleet of Leviathan, and what I like to think is that one of the Hive ships got detached from Hive Fleet Leviathan and crash landed on a world filled with water. And obviously when the monsters have emerged from their ship underwater, the only biomass to consume was obviously crustaceans and yeah, lots of fish and sea creatures. So the colour scheme I wanted to kind of blend in. So obviously all of the skins is kind of green with a blue wash, and all the carapace is blue with a green wash. And all the bases are made to look like they are kind of running or floating across the surface of the water. If you're interested in how I got any of these effects done, please check out the Tyranid painting tutorial I've done. I painted the exocrine up in that tutorial. I even show you how to make the bases as well. So I'm just going to talk you through what I've got, and hopefully what I may add in the future. I'm probably not going to add too much, but it depends on what happens with the new Codex when it eventually hits. So we've got Gene Stealers and a Broodlord here. There is the spawn of Cryptus from the Deathstorm box. So yeah, I've actually come to like Gene Stealers, especially after the game between me and Phil, where we played Tyranids versus Tyranids, and I quite like Gene Stealers, so I think I'll probably get the last couple that I've got painted up. We've got 20 Homigans done. Now I like Homigans, they're very, very cheap, very kind of use them as a bit of a meat shield, and if they get to combat, great, fantastic. We've got 50 Termagants all painted. I normally only field about 10 or 20 of them now, and the rest I keep for spawn, but we've got a range of weapons. We've got 20 with Devourers, 20 with Flesh Borers, and then I've got 10 Spine Fists there. To be honest, I mainly just run them as Flesh Borers anyway, even if them do have Devourers on there. And of course we've got the Tervagon. She's just equipped as standard. I like to think that, you know, I can get away with non-WYSIWYG due to them being like sea creatures that, you know, they could be absolutely mutated, and no one's going to be able to tell what the weapons are on them. So yeah, we've got 6 warriors here, equipped in a host of different ways. We've got a couple with Devourers, a couple with Death Spitters, Bone Swords, Lash Whips, and so forth. We've got a pair of Lictors. I've only used the Lictors once. Hopefully they'll make more of an appearance as the channel grows as well. We have 3 Zoanthropes and a Neurothrope. This guy, when I first started getting Tyranids, I bought this one on eBay for about a $5. It's one of the old metal ones. These ones are built from the spares that I got in the Venomthrope kit. As you can see, I've got 3 Venomthropes, but the tails on these are actually made out of the, I think it's the Death Spitter and Stranglethorn cannons. The other arms from the Carnifex kit, and I've literally just stuck it in there, whacked a little bit of green stuff in, and then stuck one of the tail pincers on. And that's how I've actually made the extra Zoanthropes, and again with the Neurothrope there as well. So yeah, I've then got one of my Flyrants, And I don't like his arms anymore. I normally run them with Twin Link Devourers if they're in the air. Who doesn't? But this guy I've started running in the Sky Tyrant Swarm. This is one of the old Forge World models. I got this from Brian at War Games actually. I went in one day setting a tournament up, and it had just come in, he had it for sale, and I was like, how could I not get it? The model is fantastic. But I'm not sure I like the Devourers anymore, so I'm thinking of re-equipping them, because I normally run them with the Reaper of Obliter X and the Imago Factor, so I'm thinking about just sticking a Lash Whip and Bone Sword on it, to be honest. But that's a future project. We've of course got the Venomthropes and the Malanthrope. Malanthrope is fantastic, however I feel he is a little bit overpriced at 50 quid. But I wouldn't run without one now, to be honest. We've got the standard plastic GW Flyrant with the converted Twin Link Devourers on there that I've made myself. Basically I used, I think it was the Death Spitter arms, and I've cut at an angle, top and bottom, just above the fist, and then used Gaunt Devourers. There you go, and I think it works quite well. We've got the Swarm Lord. The shells that I've added on his back are actually them quite long spines, and I think he looks very mean and menacing now as well. His arms are actually magnetised in case I ever decide to run him as a walking tyrant. So I've got like some Devourers, and I've got a Lash Whip and stuff magnetised for him. The rest of the stuff I haven't magnetised. Like I said, I don't really feel that I need to. I've got 3 Tyrant Guard there to go with him. 2 with Lash Whip and Bone Swords, 1 with Crushing Claws, and then we've got the Hive Guard there as well. The Hive Guard, I've stuck the shells right on the end of the cannons, so again I can literally run them as either shot cannons or impaler cannons. Moving forward, we've got the 20 Gargoyles, which I run in the Sky Tyrant formation. Yeah, I didn't like painting the wings on these, especially 20 in one go. Not nice, but I like the effect that I'm getting when I've glued all the stems back on, because some of them aren't even straight. I mean, if you look at this guy here, for example, see, it's not even straight on there, but I don't mind because it adds a little bit of uniqueness to them. Coming across to the back, we've got the Forge World Demon Karen. Absolute beautiful model, absolute nightmare to transport because of how big he is. Most of the Tyranids are actually quite difficult to transport, especially that Forge World Tyrant. We've got the Toxicrene. You've probably seen in some of the videos, these tentacles are magnetised. Beautiful, beautiful model. So impractical on the table. Moving back, we've got my Morlock / Trigon. Basically, he's used a mix of parts. I'll use the bigger sides, and I think that might be the Trigon mouth. I'm not sure. But basically I run him as either, depending on who I'm playing or what I fancy playing against. I found that I tend not to take him very often though. There's other things I would rather take. Again, with the shell on his head there as well, and he's got some running up his back as well. Down here we've got the Toxicrene with a little bit of a crown on her head there, as well as the spines in the centre. She even got some off the back of her shin and one on her tail there as well. And again, the front of the cannon as well also has a shell on. The Tyrannofex, again, the guns, I find that with having the shell on you can kind of get away with it being one or the other as well. We've then got 3 Carnifex. All of them just have a single arm Devourer. But obviously, I run them as twin linked. And then the Crushing Claws, one's got Scythe and Talons there. I didn't have enough Crushing Claws, unfortunately. I bought a lot of the army second hand. So these 2 guys tend to come out more often now if I end up running Crushing Claws. If not, and I'm just saying I've got 2 sets of Devourers, like I said, mutations, sea creatures, things like that. We've got the Exocrine, which I did the painting tutorial on. And we've got the Hive Chrome with the extra shells poking out of the top carapace there as well. Finally, or almost finally, we've got the Raveners. Just 3. I like to have, a little bit of variety if I want to change stuff around. But that's pretty much the force. The only other thing that I've got, you may have seen in some of the battle reports, are these custom objective markers I made out of some polystyrene eggs. I literally sprayed them up, and as you can see, they actually started melting. You know, polystyrene does with spray paint, but it gives kind of a nice effect. And what I've done is I used my spare arms and stuff to basically indicate what number they are. So obviously this 1 Scythe and Talon, 2 tentacles, 3 on that one, 4 of the crushing claws from the Hive Guard, 5 venom cannons, and 6, I think they are Scythe and Talons from Warriors. So yeah, that's the custom objective markers I made for the Tyranids. But yeah, that is the entire force. Like I said, I've got a few more Hormigons and some Ripper Swarms. There's a lot of models I don't have, like I don't have a Harpy, I don't have any Biovores, Horospex, Maliceptor, the Tyrannocyte and Sporocist I don't have either. I haven't got any Shrikes and things like that. To be honest, I don't really mind not having them. My play style with Nids, I think, is more towards Horde with, you know, 4 or 5 larger creatures. So I'm quite happy with the amount of large creatures I've got. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a new codex soon though, and things will change a little bit, or at least what they've done with the Orcs, and get a Decurion type thing as well. So that is it for the Tyranid Force. I hope you've enjoyed this overview video. Please let me know what you think of the theme behind the Force. And if you have any questions about the shells or the painting or the bases or anything like that, please leave them in the comments down below. If you've got any suggestions about what you would add if you've seen me playing my Tyranids in the past, then again, please leave that in the comments or contact me via Facebook. Please check out the Dark Artisan Facebook page. Keep up to date with all the battle reports that get uploaded. So, thanks very much for watching, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. And we'll see you next time.